Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn meetings of the company. Why meeting is necessary? If a company has to undertake a different business activities, obviously company is an artificial personality. Lot of decisions have to be taken in the meeting, okay? Because shareholders are scattered. They are not in a particular town, okay? So it's not possible for the shareholders or the members of the company to look after day-to-day affairs of the company. So to whom they have elected? They have elected directors, board, to look after the day-to-day affairs of the company. But at least in a year, at least once in a year, they have to gather and discuss on the major, we can say, subjects, and resolutions have to be passed in the meeting, and that's why meetings are called. These meetings are of maybe the directors meeting, creditors meeting, shareholders meeting. So while we are learning different types of meeting, we will definitely come to know that which meeting is most important and what are the types of meetings. Meeting, why it is necessary? Remember that as a company, they have to take n number of decisions. So only directors, the elected directors or the board cannot take the decision. Okay. So they have to get the approval for a particular subject, which is in motion, which is in discussion. And if the shareholders are voting, some subjects needs the special resolution, some subjects needs the ordinary resolution. Are you getting? So majority, if they are saying that, yes, we have to contract this or we have to go through this particular contract, then and then only the board can carry on. So for this, meetings are very important. Now, one by one, we will see the types of meeting. The first one is shareholders meeting or members meeting. That is also called as a annual general meeting, AGM. In section 96 of the Companies Act 2013, every company, whether it is a public company or whether it is a private company, but while just learning that is one man company or the one person company, OPC, okay, except that OPC, it is required to conduct the annual general meeting within 9 months from the end of the first financial year to decide the overall progress of the company as well as a future plans, what the company is going to undertake the different activities in the future. That has to be discussed. So it is mandatory, the annual general meeting has to be called. So what will be the place of the meeting, where the meeting should be called, whether the members should gather? So the simple answer is that registered office of the company. While incorporating the company in the memorandum of association, there was a we can say clause, registered office clause, where they have mentioned the address of the registered office, in which city it is, in which state it is situated. Okay. So wherever the registered office of the company is situated, there and there only the annual general meeting can be held. What will be the time schedule? In the working hours, in between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., not in midnight. Okay. So these are the provisions under the Companies Act. Every annual general meeting should be held in between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And public holidays should be avoided. Whatever the central government or the state government is deciding in its annual calendar, these are the public holidays. Take an example of 15th August, 26th January, or any Jayantis and all. Those are the public holidays. On those public holidays, the meeting should not be held. Quorum means what? The minimum presence, the minimum attendance. That is called as a quorum. So if the public company is there, public limited company is there, 5 if members are there, means members are less than 1000, then the quorum should be 5. It means if the company is having the membership of 1000, at least 5 members should be present for that meeting. Then and then only that meeting will be called as a valid meeting. Okay. If the members of the company are more than 1000 and less than 5000, then the quorum of that particular annual general meeting will be 15. It means minimum members to attend the meeting, and if the meeting has to be called as a valid meeting, at least 15 members should attend that annual general meeting. And if the company is big one and the members are more than 5000, then obviously the quorum will be 30. In the old act, whatever the minimum number of the members to constitute or to register the company, that was the quorum. But in this new act, this bifurcation has been given in the Companies Act 2013. This is regarding the public limited company. In case of private limited company, if the company is private limited, then only 2 who are present will be the quorum. Public limited company, they have mentioned the number 5, 15 and 13. But in case of private company, only 2 members are the minimum requirement to call the meeting as a valid meeting. Okay. So what will be the time gap between the 2 annual general meeting? How much time gap should be there? Suppose one company is conducting the annual general meeting at a particular date. Okay, the when will be the second annual general meeting should be called. That is called as a time gap. So time gap between 2 meetings should not be more than the 15 months. 12 months is the gap between 2 years. Okay, so company, whatever the reasons are there for conducting the meeting late and all, but maximum limit is given 15 months in between 2 annual general meeting. That is 15 months gap is expected between first annual general meeting and the subsequent, that is the next annual general meeting. It need to be conducted. Okay, financial year has to be undertaken. If there any urgent circumstances are there or any emergency situation arises in the company, then they should not wait for 12 months. They can urgently call the annual general meeting to take a particular decision and to pass a particular resolution. So what important you have to remember here, in between 2 annual general meetings, 15 months gap is expected. Okay, more than that gap is not allowed by the registrar of the companies. The next meeting, that is extraordinary general meeting. Certain matters, certain subjects are there which are so important and on which immediate attention has to be given, immediate decision has to be given, has to be taken. In such a way, the extraordinary general meeting, because the board or the directors will not wait until the next annual general meeting. In such cases, they will call the extraordinary general meeting. The board, that is the board of director, has been granted, means that permission has been given to the board to call for such extraordinary annual or annual general meeting under section 100 of the Companies Act. Okay, so following ways are there where the extraordinary general meeting can be called. That EGM will be called by the board, that is the board of directors, on the suo motu basis. What is this suo motu basis? On its own motion. They will pass one resolution that we have to call an urgent meeting of the shareholders because we have to take decision, and without the approval of the shareholders, as the board, we can't take this decision, and obviously we need to call the meeting of the members of the company. In such a situation, the board may, based on the suo motu basis, that is on its own decision, they will call the extraordinary general meeting. The procedure is the same. The procedure to send the notice is the same. But thing is that they cannot wait for the next annual general meeting because immediate action has to be taken on a particular subject. That's why board can call this extraordinary general meeting. Then the second mode is by requisition of the eligible members. If the eligible members are thinking that there should be the extraordinary general meeting, then obviously here the extraordinary general meeting can be conducted. Where in the company, if having the share capital, yes, share capital is there, the members holding at least, if the members who are called as the eligible members, they are holding at least 1/10 of such share capital. Suppose you take the example, the whole share capital, and out of that 1/10 of the share holding is held by a particular class of members. Those are eligible to call the extraordinary general meeting because their holding is at least 10% of the total voting powers. 100% voting powers, and out of that 10% voting powers is of that eligible members, and they can call such particular extraordinary general meeting. Such a notice has to be well written because the notice of meeting, the date, the venue, are you getting, the, you can say, subject to be discussed in that meeting, everything, what is the nature of business means what, meeting is itself is a business because n number of topics have to be discussed in that meeting. So what is the nature of business means, for what purpose the meeting, extraordinary general meeting has been called, that is nature of business. Duly signed by all these eligible members. Who are the eligible members who want to call this extraordinary general meeting? They have to sign that particular notice, okay? And the board need to call meeting within 21 days of getting such request. If these eligible members are requesting the board that we want to call this extraordinary general meeting, then obviously the board will give the 21 days notice to the members. Are you getting? So maximum 45 days are allowed, but minimum 21 days notice should be given. By giving such notice to the such members prior to 3 days of conducting such meeting. Suppose any of the eligible member is desiring to conduct such meeting, then all the, because annual general meeting or the extraordinary general meeting where members, every member should get the notice, okay? So this 21 days notice will be sent to such members. This is the prior intimation. This is the prior intimation, that is that notice. Suppose it is taking a huge days to reach that notice because postage days are there and all. So at least in prior notice that should reach to the concerned members, so that concerned member can arrange, he can plan to attend the meeting. At least that much time should be provided to the members, okay? Then by requisitions, provided if board fails to do so. Suppose the board is intimated, this requisite, we can say the member, who eligible members, they are intimating the board, okay, and board fails to conduct such meeting. In the first paragraph, board is expected to call the meeting, but if the board fails to do this calling the meeting, conducting the meeting within 45 days from the notice of the eligible member, then the members can call the meeting within 3 months from the original request, because eligible members are making the request to the board. Board is failing to conduct the meeting, so obviously they will not consider the board right now. The eligible members, they will wait for some time and they can call their meeting, this extraordinary general meeting, on their own, okay? So this can be happen. And the next mode, that is by tribunal under section 98, wherein it can conduct the meeting on its own or any request received by the member of such company. This member is not the eligible member, any member. If he is requesting to the tribunal that we have to conduct the extra annual general meeting, and if he is sending the requisition to the tribunal, then tribunal can also call such extraordinary general meeting. So you just remember only 3, that is, first one is extraordinary general meeting by board, extraordinary general meeting by eligible members, and this by the tribunal itself on the requisition of any member, okay? The place, as usual, registered office or any such place in city where such registered office is situated. If the registered office is not having the spacious, we can say space, and n number of members are going to gather there, then in the same city they can book one hall. Are you getting? But that city is the same where the registered office is situated. Whom the notice should be served? For notice of this extraordinary general meeting should be sent to all the members. That notice must be in the writing. They can send by the post also or by electronic mode, that is mail, as you say right now. But 21 days notice is compulsory, because whenever the date of meeting is there, before that 21 days the notice should reach to the concerned member. This is all about place and the notice and the mode of calling the extraordinary general meeting. Now the third part, that is the class meeting. Such meeting is conveyed by a particular class of shareholders, or if they think that their rights are being altered, because this memorandum of association, they have all these, you can say, clauses, different clauses. Already we have learned that if the members are thinking that whatever their rights have been mentioned, now the company is going to alter, or the board is going to alter, or the board is taking decision to decision of merger or amalgamation of the company with the another company. Are you getting? Or taking over or merging the company into another company. N number of examples are there. In all these situations, shareholders and the creditors who have given the finance to that particular company to protect their rights and their privileges, they may call this particular extra class meeting. Okay, why they are calling? Because see, one bank, two bank, three bank, four banks, or the financial institutions, they are giving the consortium loan to a particular company, and if the company is taking the decision of merger or amalgamation or whatever, they are obviously, these rights are going to change, of creditor's right or the shareholders right. Are you getting? So in such way, here the shareholders and creditors are a particular class, and they may call a meeting. That meeting is called as a class meeting. Are you getting? So the second type, it comes directors meeting. The first one we have seen, annual general meeting and extraordinary general meeting, and the third one is class meeting. The second classification is the directors meeting. Who are directors? The board of directors. The member of the board are the board of directors. Okay, so they have to call the meeting, because companies day-to-day affairs are looking after this board. Shareholders are elected these directors to look after the day-to-day affairs of the company. So every company needs to convey first board meeting within 30 days of its incorporation. Remember this, whenever on which date the company is going to incorporate, that is registered, from that date, within 30 days, the board has to call their first board meeting. The minimum 4 meetings in each calendar year. How many months are there? 12 months are there. Are you getting? First meeting can be called within 30 days. They can make late, but at least 4 board meetings should be conducted. Minimum, they can conduct more than that, but minimum, it is mandatory, minimum 4 meetings should be called, and the the gap between 2 board meetings should not be more than 120 days. That is 3 months in between 2 board meetings. Getting? So in case of OPC, that is one person company. The dormant company means what? Company is registered but not undertaking any business activity since last 2 years, 3 years. That company is called as a dormant company. Already we have seen it in the types of companies. A company is a small company, or the company section under section 8, that is a club, okay, for the social activities, for the promotion of the culture, promotion of the sports and all. Such companies came under the section 8. So all such companies, already we have seen about the public company and the private company. But what about this OPC and dormant company? OPC means one person company. Dormant company means company is established and registered, but not undertaken any business activities. A company is a small in nature, or a company under section 8, or any private company that is a startup, a new startup, but it is the private one, it's not a public one, then required to hold 2 board meetings in each half of calendar. Means for the public company, it is important to conduct at least 4 meetings. But in case of OPC, dormant and small company and section 8 company, only 2 meetings are required. How many? 2 meetings are required. Are you getting? Time gap is between 90 days. Means 90 days means how much? 3 months. 3 months, at least 3 months gap should be there. Today they are conducting and again tomorrow they are conducting. It is not allowed. 2 means already in a year they are conducting 2 meetings. In between these 2 meetings, at least 90 days gap should be there. This is all about OPC, dormant company and small companies and section 8 companies. Okay. Here the notice of, as we already seen in the public company, 21 days notice was there. But in case of all these types of the companies, 7 days notice. At least 7 days is necessary. In the MCQ, they can ask what is the criteria of the notice, that is 21 days. Here in these cases, OPC dormant, 7 days notice is necessary to be given to the directors at their registered address with company, also to be provided through the e-means means emails. E-means means what? That is not the wrong spelling. The means may be e, that is electronic means. It is not possible, if it is not possible to deliver the notice by post or by hand, then email, through email or by electronic mail also they can send the notice of meeting. So what is the quorum in case of this different classification of the companies? 1/3 of the total directors. 1/3. Suppose 9 directors are there. What is the 1/3? 3 directors. Are you getting? Or 2 directors. म्हणजे जे काही जमलेले डायरेक्टर्स आहेत त्यापैकी 1/3 डायरेक्टर्स किंवा 2 मिनिमम डायरेक्टर जे काही हायर आहे ते म्हणजे त्यांचं कोरम. ते कोरम भरलं तरच ते व्हॅलिड मीटिंग होऊ शकते, अन्यथा मीटिंग व्हॅलिड नाही. कोण पण एकच मीटिंग घेऊन दोघं मिळून काय पण ठरवतील नाही, नॉट नेसेसरी. येतं लक्षात? म्हणून लक्षात घ्या, कोरम हा मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट आहे, तरच ती मीटिंग व्हॅलिड होऊ शकते. म्हणून 1/3 ऑफ द टोटल डायरेक्टर्स और 2 डायरेक्टर्स, बिकॉज हे छोट्या कंपन्या आहेत ना, ओपीसी प्रायव्हेट कंपनीला मिनिमम 2 मेंबर्स लागतात म्हणून सांगितलंय. म्हणजे 2च डायरेक्टर, तेच 2 मेंबर आणि तेच जर 2 डायरेक्टर झाले तर मिनिमम 2 नंबर हे तिथं रिक्वायर्ड आहे, तोच त्यांचा कोरम आहे. ओपीसीच्या बाबतीमध्ये बघा 1/4 ऑफ द टोटल स्ट्रेंथ और 8 मेंबर्स विचेवर इज हायर. आता एखादी ओपीसी एस्टॅब्लिश करायची असेल तर मॅक्सिमम किती मेंबर्स होऊ शकतात ते आपल्याला बघायचंय. 1 पर्सन कंपनी ज्याला आपण म्हणतो, 1/4 ऑफ द टोटल स्ट्रेंथ. आता ओनर त्याचा जो आहे तो ओपीसी आहे, त्याने एस्टॅब्लिश केलेली एक आहे, पण तो मेंबर्स वाढवू शकतो. आणि अशा वेळेला मेंबर्स जर वाढले तर 1/4 ऑफ द टोटल स्ट्रेंथ किंवा मिनिमम 8 मेंबर्स जे कोणी हजर असतील, हायर संख्येने हजर असतील तर ती मीटिंग व्हॅलिड अशी ठरलेली आहे. आता अदर मीटिंग्स, क्रेडिटर्स मीटिंग म्हणजे कोण? क्रेडिटर्स म्हणजे कोण सांगा मला आधी. हु आर द क्रेडिटर्स? क्रेडिटर्स म्हणजे जे कंपनीला फंडिंग करतात. मग ते बँका असतील, फिनान्शियल इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स असतील, किंवा डिबेंचर होल्डर्स असतील, किंवा बॉन्ड होल्डर्स असतील. कंपन्या काय करत असतात? इक्विटी शेअर, त्यांचे कॅपिटल स्ट्रक्चर मध्ये काय काय वेळेला इक्विटी शेअर्स इश्यू करतात, काय काय वेळेला डिबेंचर्स इश्यू करतात, काय काय वेळेला बॉन्ड इश्यू करतात. येते लक्षात? काय काय वेळेला लोन घेतात. या 4ही वेगवेगळ्या पद्धतीनं फंडिंग घेत असतात. येते लक्षात? त्यातलं इक्विटी जे आहे ना ते ओनर्स आहेत. इक्विटी शेअर होल्डर्स आर द ओनर्स. बट व्हॉट अबाउट अदर्स? Bankers are the creditors, financial institutions are the creditors, debenture holders are the creditors, bond holders are the creditors. याला आपण क्रेडिटर्स म्हणतो. आता हे जे क्रेडिटर्स आहेत त्यांनी कर्ज दिलेलं आहे आणि सपोज कंपनी असं काहीतरी निर्णय घेते की आपण आता अमलगमेशन करायचं आहे, आपण आता आपलं मर्ज व्हायचंय कशामध्ये, तर ह्यांचे इंटरेस्ट काय होतात? त्यांच्या इंटरेस्ट वरती, म्हणजे ज्याला आपण बाधा येते म्हणतो, त्यांचे हक्क जे आहेत ते व्हायोलेट होऊ शकतात. आणि म्हणून क्रेडिटर्स स्वतः काय करू शकतात, एक मीटिंग घेऊ शकतात. येते लक्षात? ऑडिट कमिटी मीटिंग म्हणजेच काय, एकाच कंपनीचे जर एंट्री ऑडिट म्हणजेच काय, एकाच वर्षातनं 2दा 3दा 4दा ऑडिट असं पण होऊ शकतं. कारण मोठ्या कंपनीच्या बाबतीमध्ये वर्षाच्या शेवटी एकदमच ऑडिट करायचं आणि मग त्याचे जे काही सुधारणा करायला पाहिजेत किंवा त्याला वेळ नसतो तेवढा, कारण त्यांचे रिटर्न्स भरायचे असतात वगैरे. मग अशा वेळेला कंपनी काय करते, अनेक वेळा ऑडिट घेत असते. मग ते वेगवेगळे ऑडिटर आणि त्यांची टीम जी आहे त्यांची एक मीटिंग आलं लक्षात, ते सुद्धा कॉल करू शकतात. ते त्याला तिथं मेंबर्सना वगैरे बोलवायची गरज नाहीये, तिथं ते एकत्र. आता तुम्ही जर विजय माल्यासारखे मोठे जे अकाउंट होल्डर, किंगफिशर वगैरे बघितला, तर त्याला थोडीच एका बँकेने कर्ज दिलेलं असतं का? नाही. अनेक बँका एकत्र येऊन त्याला कर्ज दिलेल्या होत्या. जवळजवळ त्याच्यामध्ये मला वाटतंय 7-8 पेक्षा जास्त नंबर ऑफ बँका होत्या लक्षात. मग त्याच्यात जी लोनची अमाऊंट जास्त दिली आहे कुठल्या बँकेनं लक्षात, त्यांचा होल्ड जास्त असणार आहे. पण छोट्या छोट्या बँका पण आहेत की ज्यांनी छोटे छोटे अमाऊंट पण दिलेले आहेत. ते सगळे क्रेडिटर्स झाले ना, कारण ते लोन काय म्हटलं जातं, कन्सोर्टियम लोन असं म्हटलं जातं त्याला, म्हणजे सगळ्यांनी मिळून दिलेलं लोन आहे. आता त्या विजय मल्ल्यानं वेगवेगळे काही डिसिजन्स त्यावेळेला घेतले, तर अशा वेळेला क्रेडिटर्सचं काय होणार आहे, त्यांचा जो काही इंटरेस्ट आहे तो त्याच्यामध्ये फरक पडणार आहे, डिफरन्स होणार आहे. मग अशा वेळेला ते सगळे क्रेडिटर्स एकत्र येऊन मीटिंग घेऊ शकतात आणि काही निर्णय घेऊ शकतात. डिबेंचर होल्डर्स असतील, त्यांचा एक क्लास आहे, ते सुद्धा एकत्र येऊन मीटिंग घेऊ शकतात. हे अदर मीटिंग्स मध्ये जातं. ऑडिट मीटिंग म्हणजेच ऑडिट कमिटी, जे ऑडिट कमिटी आणि त्यांचे जे मेंबर्स आहेत तेही मीटिंग घेऊ शकतात. कंपनीचे काही डिसिजन्स घ्यायचे असतील, लोन आता सपोज लोनची अमाऊंट वाढवायची आहे, कॅपिटल ते वाढवतायत म्हणजे कॅपिटल स्ट्रक्चर मध्ये बदल करतायत, येते लक्षात. डिबेंचर्स जास्त वाढवतायत म्हणजे डेट्स जास्त वाढतायत, बॉन्ड्स जास्त वाढतायत. तर अशा वेळेला जे एक्झिस्टिंग क्रेडिटर्स आहेत त्यांच्या इंटरेस्ट मध्ये फरक पडू शकतो आणि म्हणून ते मीटिंग घेऊन त्याचे काही डिसिजन्स असतील कंपनीच्या बाबतीमध्ये ते सगळे घेऊ शकतात. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट टाइप्स ऑफ मीटिंग. स्टॅट्युटरी मीटिंग मी नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला कव्हर करेन. व्हॉट इज स्टॅट्युटरी मीटिंग अँड व्हॉट आर द टॉपिक्स विच आर डिस्कस्ड इन द स्टॅट्युटरी मीटिंग, दॅट आय विल teach you in the next lecture. Okay, so this is all about types of meeting and what are the we can say requisites of the meeting. Requisites of meeting मध्ये काय, what is the meaning of that, who will call that, what is the notice period, and what are the modes that you have to write. So those are called as the requisites of meeting. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any query, just post in the comment box. In the next lecture, I will definitely cover and clear your doubts. Thank you very much.